Hey everybody, I just thought before we aired our next episode of Southbridge Street Live that I would take a few minutes to offer my gratitude to our presenting sponsor, Aloe Soft, to our newest sponsor, Atzenhofer, who is sponsoring our Best of the Best, which airs on the weekend. And then to also just make a statement that says, you know what, behind every good show, there are lots and lots of people that are behind us supporting Southbridge Street Live, like my producer, Jake, and my assistant, Jim. And then, of course, all the hosts that we have who have created their own pilot shows for you guys to view and are waiting for sponsorship. And then a couple of personal shout outs to people who help me behind the scenes, like Ashley from Cotton Bells, who helps with wardrobe, and Stephanie from Beehive, who helps me with hair. And then, of course, Rachel from Bright and Go, who helps to keep my smile bright and beautiful. And then, of course, I wanted to take just a second to thank you, the viewers, because without you, this could not be possible. So just a shout out for everyone to say thank you on behalf of all of us from Southbridge Street Live. Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to our latest edition of Southbridge Street Live. I am here with Lizz Garza-Turnipseed, and I'll tell you what, it's my first time to ever meet her, so we're gonna meet her together right here on Southbridge Street Live. Liz,
hey,
it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, let me tell you why I contacted Liz, because she does a great live show on Facebook, and you are a disc jockey. Among many other things, you'll learn that she's a jack of all trades. But you're a disc jockey. You do this live on 95.9,
yes,
Majic 95.9. And so you're also a realtor. You're a lead singer. So I'm going to ask you first question is, what came first?
Well, realtor. Well, no, actually, music came first to me in my life. Because I started that as a kid.
Right.
My dad sang in a band off and on. My grandpa played the accordion in a band, and Tejano bands, conjunto, Tejano bands. There's a difference.
So tell me the difference between conjunto and
conjunto is more accordion, and the beat of the drum is a little different. And Tejano is more, it's got a lot of, there's sometimes a brass section where you have, horns, and then a lot of keyboards. But we do incorporate the accordion as well. So conjunto is more of a really, how do you explain it? It's got a different sound. It's all accordion and it's a different sound.
All accordion.
Yes.
Okay, so we kind of had a joke right before we got started because I said, oh my gosh, and you're the lead singer of the band Fantasia. And what did you say? Tell me.
I said it's not Fantasia, it's called Fantazzia.
Fantazzia.
Fantazzia, but we spell it with two Z's. That's why a lot of people get it mixed up.
Well, your name is two Z's too.
Yes,
yeah,
my name is two Z's, which in reality my real name is Elizabeth, but everybody called me Liz growing up, my sister, my brother, and then in school. So then I just added another Z to make it different because I didn't want to just be Liz with one Z. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But
my name is Ingrid. You don't know how many times as a kid I was like, can I just be Susan? Can I just change it?
You just change it,
So is Lizz Garza-Turnipseed like a disc jockey name?
No, actually, Lizz Garza was, I always used that in my, in music, and then also, that's what everybody knows me through with my real estate, because I also sell real estate.
Right.
So I use that on all my business cards, everything, and I wasn't married for a long time.
Right.
So I finally got married, and my last name changed to Turnipseed, which it's everybody gets that name, pronounced different ways. Turnipseed, Turnipseed, turnip, seed.
Oh, that's the only part, that I got right was Turnipseed.
Yes. So it's a very unique name, and that's my husband's last name. And so I just took on, when I changed my profile name on Facebook, I just kept Lizz Garza-Turnipseed. Gotcha. And I've had people ask me about that. Is that your stage name, or what is that?
Yeah, it's kind of stage name.
Yeah, it is.
And I happen to know a couple of women who have been in radio that have had radio names, disc jockey names. Okay, but let me go back to, so you're this young girl, you've been brought up around this music, and you find your voice. How old are you?
I can't even remember how old I was. I was little when I knew that I liked to sing. I didn't know that I was singing any good.
Right.
And I knew, I was around it a lot because my dad sang around the house all the time. And So I started singing as a little girl, and then my dad took notice of me, and he started teaching me, because I wasn't so much into Tejano music.
Right.
I listened to it because it was there, but I wasn't so much into it. I was more into like Paula Abdul, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, all the pop stuff, all the back in the day stuff.
Right.
Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, all those bands there. I was more in that kind of
girl,
music.
so then we might even be close to the same age.
Yes.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about that off air.
And so I was into that music. My mom listened to that kind of music a lot. And my dad's like, hey, when he heard that I could sing, because I was always singing, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, he's like, you need to learn some Tejano music, know where your roots are, learn some Tejano. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. Well, he introduced it to me more and more, and then I started to take a liking of it.
What is it about Tejano music that you like? Culture aside.
Just the beat. A lot of it is the beat, and it just makes you want to dance, And it wasn't until Selena came out that I really took to Tejano music, and that's when it changed a lot. It took on a new progressive beat. It was more pop.
She made an incredible shift.
Yes, she made a shift, and there's a lot of other artists out there, more male-dominated artists that helped make it, to where I liked it for my generation. Yes. And so that's when I actually took notice of it, and I started liking it. I was going to the dances with my parents and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I was 15 years old when I sang for the very first time at my own quinceañera, which is a 15th birthday party.
Yes.
And
so that was your first time
That was my
to
first
sing?
time. I got up on stage with a local band that had made several records and stuff, but they actually lived across the street from me. So it was everywhere. My town, we had a lot of musicians.
Where were you growing up?
Yorktown.
In Yorktown.
Yorktown, yes. So small little town.
Yes.
And so I was around it all the time, and then so the local band played also at my quinceañera, and my grandpa got on stage. He played the accordion, and my dad sang, and I sang, and my sister sang. So it was kind of like a little family thing, and that was the very first time I got to sing on stage.
Liz. That's so cool.
Thank you. And I was super nervous. Like like you say, when you get nervous, you're like, oh, I feel like you're gonna puke, and it's horrible. But you finally get over it eventually.
Right.
But that's what happened with me. I started again. That was my first time on stage, and ever since then, it was like, I love this. I love it. I love the smiles that I put on people's faces. I love being able to do that, getting on stage, doing what I love to do. And from then on, it just kind of took off. I mean, it didn't start off like big right away. I started singing, because Tejano music is a little funny. It's male dominated.
Okay.
So female, it's very hard for a female to. Selena is the one that, kind of broke through those walls. But even if she broke through them, she kind of put up another wall, I feel, because anytime a female vocalist would try to get up on stage, everybody would try to compare her to Selena.
Yes.
Oh, you're just trying to be like Selena. Oh, you're just trying to dance like Selena. You're trying to sing like Selena. So she opened the doors, but then closed them at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I understand
So
what you're saying,
everybody loves her. Everybody loves her. She was great.
Well, I think too, with her passing, probably even solidify that even more, because the community was missing such a phenomenal.
Yes, and that's why I said everybody was, mourning her, and especially the Selena fans and the fans out there. It was hard for them to accept anybody else in the industry. So it was already male dominated to begin with, and then to have this female to open doors, and then she passes, and then it kind of closed the doors again.
Sure.
So it's very tough. And then I had moved to Victoria in my early 20s, and I started up with some local bands around here, and I did backup vocals and stuff like that. Again, it was male dominated. The whole band was nothing but guys. So they kind of like, oh yeah, you can sing a song. You can sing a song here and there, and I couldn't be lead vocals. They just it wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow it. And it wasn't until later on in life, I had kids and stuff like that. So it's very tough to be in this industry when you have kids, because a lot of traveling, a lot of dedication, and in this industry, mostly the men, they don't really take care of the kids like we do as moms. I'm not saying all, but mostly, the moms take care of the children.
Sure. Well, I think it's expected if you marry a musician, right?
Yes.
And you know that they're going to be traveling.
Right.
And you kind of figure out as the wife, right, and the mom, how you're going to accommodate that type of lifestyle. So I see where you're going with that.
But it was still, even at that, it's extremely hard, to be a mom and to accommodate that lifestyle.
Sure.
So I stopped for a little bit, then I joined, and I stopped, and I joined, and then it wasn't until my son was a little bit older, and I remarried, and I joined. Some of the old band members called me to be the lead vocalist. I got a phone call one day and say, hey, how would you like to be a lead vocalist of a band? We don't even have a name for it. Anything. It was just a brand new band, and I was like, what? I was very surprised. I was like, are you serious? You're calling me?
I love
and they're like,
that.
yeah, we want you to be the lead vocalist. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started going to practice and joining, and then started gigging. And then once I started gigging, I love
the term gigging because gigging is so, because we're like a fish family, so I'm like, it's gigging, but you're talking about music gigs. Gotcha, cool.
And so it wasn't. Then I ended up getting pregnant, and I was like, oh no, here we go again. I'm gonna have to quit. I'm gonna have to quit because there's no way I can do this with the baby on my hip, And so when I told my husband, and he was like, why do you have to quit? And I was like, well, in my previous, relationships, they weren't going to have me out, on the streets, gigging at different, different towns, different places, meeting new people with the baby at home, So I was like, so I just figured I have to quit. He goes, no. He goes, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you. You do what you want to do. You don't have to quit doing it. So I was like, wow. So that really helped a lot, that I had a very supportive husband. And so I ended up, I was kind of scared to tell the guys, because I was kind of scared. They were like, how are you going to do this pregnant? Which I did. I sang all the way till my 9 months. I even got on stage pregnant. And then I called my dad, because we had gigs coming up, and I didn't know what I was going to do, because I was going to be having a baby at the time.
Right.
And my dad, I called him and I said, hey, Dad, can you come help us out? I said, I need somebody to help sing, to finish off these gigs until I can come back. And at first he was kind of like, he's never been a lead vocalist either, but he has a great voice. Right. And he just wasn't in it at the moment, even though he loves to sing. And so he's like, I don't know. And I was like, I talked to my godfather, who's also in the band. He plays the drums. He's also our manager. And he's like, I'll talk to him. I'll get him to practice. So my dad comes in, and he gets to practice, and then he never leaves. And he's never, even after I had my little one and I came back in.
So did you come back with, and you're like, excuse me?
So he's my right-hand man. And, I think it's a blessing, because who can say that they share a passion with their parent? Like something that they love to do. We share the stage together, and we love what we do. And it's a blessing to me to have him right next to me. And then also, of course, my godfather, which they're best friends. So I grew up with him, and it's just nice, like a little family thing. So,
So where do you guys perform?
Oh, we perform everywhere. We perform San Antonio. We haven't really gone out to like the big cities like Dallas and Houston yet, but we perform all around the Crossroads area, Yorktown, Coral. We played in Woodsboro. We played. I'm trying to think of where else.
Oh, Liz, wait a second. You guys have a video.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, this is how we got into it, because we started getting a lot of attention here in Victoria, just as a local band.
Say the band name again.
Fantazzia.
Fantazzia. Thank you. I keep wanting to reference the band, and I'm like, I know I'm going to botch it. Fantazzia.
Yeah, Fantazzia. So we started getting a lot of attention on Facebook, because I posted videos and stuff like that, and getting a lot of attention. And we were told, well, if you want to get out more, expand, you need to go record an album. And we had no idea what to expect, how to do it, or what. And so
where did Fantazzia record?
Fantazzia, we recorded. Yes, we ended up recording in McAllen, Texas, with Tejano Powerhouse Records.
Wow.
And we have 2 singles out right now, and then we recorded a video for our first single, Soy la Única. So, which means I'm the only one. Soy la Única. So
yeah, I'm just stuck with. I'm still working on Fantazzia. Okay.
Fantazzia. So we recorded and now we're doing. It's just like started taking off.
So you recorded a video.
Yes, a music video.
Do you love that music video?
Yes, I do. It was scary at first. Let me tell you, because I've never done this before. I just started dipping in the water as far as being in the public eye and doing, being just to be able to sing on stage it's a big task, for people that are not used to that.
I think sometimes too, most people probably would not understand that there's always a bit of nervousness anytime that you get on stage. It's a rush.
Yeah, even though if there's 5 people out there that I'm singing to, it's like you're still nervous, or if it's a big crowd,
and you've sang in front of thousands of people.
Yes, so it's crazy, but it's a big rush and it feels good afterwards. And it's only for me, it started to be just that 5 minutes before I get on stage is when I start getting nervous. Once I'm on stage and through my first song, I'm good to go.
Wow. And so do you guys write your own songs and music?
My dad writes songs and music. We haven't recorded any original material yet. We recorded our 2 singles were old songs from back in the day that we kind of remade over again.
Yeah.
Actually, the song that I released, my single, Soy la Única, it was an old song by Gavino Guerrero, who played with La Sombra. And those of you that knows Tejano music, they know who La Sombra is, Gavino. And he sang this song back in the 90s, maybe.
I see.
And so we just brought it back. I told my dad was like, "Why don't you do this song? It's a great song. You love it. It's it was one of my favorites growing up." And
Will you sing me a couple of lines?
Sure.
You don't mind? Okay.
Let me hear
it. Would you like some water, love?
Let me take a drink of water real quick. Okay.
All right.
Let's see if I can get this.
And thank you. She did not know she was going to sing, so I'm giving her a lot of kudos right now.
Okay. Oye, ¿qué te pasa, amor? Te pido perdón. Si en algo he fallado.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell me what that means in English.
Well, it's hard for me to explain.
Is it a love song?
Yes, it's talking about, basically the song's talking about, because this is like almost like Selena. She sang it, but she didn't understand it and couldn't talk it. Same with me. I can understand Spanish a little bit more now, but I can't explain everything to the T. I just know.
Right.
I read the song and I kind of get what it's about, and then I go up from there. But it's about, she's telling the guy that she's the only one that listens to him. She's the only one that loves him. Pretty much that's what the song is about. So I love that.
and then you said you kind of like some pop. So tell me.
Yeah, we do sing some pop music. We sing a variety. We sing country. We sing pop. We try to keep it interesting for everybody. And the pop song that I do sing, that's what has gotten a lot of feedback. A lot of people had watched videos on it, and we've gotten a lot of attention on the song. It's called "Love on the Brain" by Rihanna.
Oh my gosh.
But
okay, I sort of was gonna sing it with you, and now I'm terrified. So I want you to sing some of it. Will you sing some of it?
Sure. I'll start from the beginning.
Okay. Watch the curse words.
No, I don't use cuss words on stage, because that's one thing about Tejano music. We don't cuss in our songs. So.
Oh really?
No, we don't.
Like straight to the genre. There's no cursing.
There's no cursing.
That's really interesting.
Yes, it is. So. Okay, let's see if I can do this.
No pressure.
And you got me like, oh, what you want from me. And I tried to buy your pretty heart, but the price too high. Baby, you got me like, oh, you love when I fall apart. So you can put me together and throw me against the wall.
Oh, wow. Liz, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh
my
gosh. No wonder you get so much attention. I love
you.
Rihanna, and I think that song is beautiful.
That
was a phenomenal piece.
I appreciate that. it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't try to like kick in there with some.
That would have been fun, though.
Okay, maybe at the end, or maybe when we're off camera. Wow, that's exceptional. And
Thank
you're
you.
self-taught with
I'm
your dad's,
self-taught.
with your father's guidance?
I've never had vocal lessons.
Wow.
You know, I played in the band in high school, the marching band, the school band.
Yeah.
And I played the French horn and I learned notes and stuff like that. But I've always had an ear for music. I could hear, even when I'm on stage now and as a little girl, it's kind of weird because I hear every note, everything that's going on, and I can tell my guys that's the wrong note right there. You know, like I hear it.
Right.
You know, so I always had an ear for music, and it's something that just, I don't know. I guess it was just, I was born with it. So.
And it's in your family. It's in your
And my
blood.
dad taught me along the way. He's a great singer. When you think if I sing good, he's a great singer. But he had to put his stuff on hold to raise his family, and
Sure.
he didn't do anything with his music career. So now that I have him in the band, he also recorded his very first single as well with the band. So I'm super proud of him at the same time. So again, it's awesome. It's very awesome.
That sounds phenomenal. So where do you find time to also be a realtor and a disc jockey?
Well, this is how I put it. The band is a weekend thing. I do a lot of social media stuff, of course, during the week when I'm home. But realtors, we really don't get a lot of showings in the mornings. You know, most people don't call us till after lunch. And so I do my real estate after lunch. And in the mornings, I have, you know, I'm there. I'm not doing anything. So I do, I work at Majic.
Yes? Okay, so tell me what it's like being a radio disc jockey.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. I must admit, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's great. I started out because, you know, I was selling real estate, and I used to go to Majic all the time to say, hey, do a shout out to Lizz Garza with whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And
With Shaw Realty?
with Shaw Realty or whoever I was with at the time. And so those guys know me because I would go in there every day and bug them.
Bug them?
Or call them. And,
That's a great way to get things done, just to bug them.
Just bug them. And so I used to go in all the time. And then finally one day, and this was after I had my little one, I went in and I was trying to reestablish my real estate stuff because I get pregnant and I kind of put a lot of things on hold. And I said, hey guys, you know, can you do a little shout out? And one of the owners of the radio station, Homer Lopez, he's one of the owners with Lopez Broadcasting. He said, hey Liz, why don't you just get in there with one of the guys and just talk by yourself, you know, talk whatever you want. And I'm like, what? You're talking to me? I said, I don't know if I could do that. He goes, you can do it. Just go and do it. You know, it's like, so I went home. I said, let me think about it. I went home and I talked to my husband and I said, what do you think about just me getting on the air? You know, I'm not doing anything in the mornings anyways. And he's like, just do it. You know, my husband's like, just do it. You might have fun with it. And I was like, okay, I guess, you know. So I was like, I better do it because I might miss on this opportunity. And I figured it'll help me with real estate and all. So I jumped in on the mornings. My first show with Ralph Salazar about 3 years ago. Actually, November, it'll be 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And
happy anniversary.
Thanks. And so I got on with him, and he made it very easy because he did all the talking and did all the DJing stuff, and I just had a mic, and he would just kind of bring me in a little bit. And oh my gosh, the first time was very nerve-wracking, but I made it through, and as the week went by and weeks went by, it just got easier and easier. And then I moved up to a different time with a different DJ, and so it was a lot of fun doing it with this DJ as well. And then one of our main DJs, he ended up moving to San Antonio because our owners, the Lopez Broadcasting, they opened up a new radio station in San Antonio, which is called KLMO 98.9. And so our main DJ and one of the owners, they ended up moving to San Antonio. And so my program director's like, we got to move people around, and they're like, we got to move JJ up to drive time, and they're like, you're taking over the show by yourself, and I'm like, what? Because I never learned how to work the board or the computer or anything like that. And most of the DJs have their computer with their hard drive and all their music, and they work from that. And I didn't have any of that. It's so different
from what I remembered seeing when I was first interested in communications. My cousin was at UNT, University of North Texas. and she worked in the university radio station. And I feel like it was like old school. Like I feel like they were actually taking CDs and you know what I'm saying, and putting them in. Like for some reason, it seemed like mega complicated. And I've been in a radio booth lately, and I've been like, wow, technology. It's all done online.
But what is crazy is because one of our DJs, JJ, the one that I was with for the last few years, he still does CDs.
Old school.
He won't change from it. That's what he knows, and that's what he loves. And all of our other DJs go by laptops and hard drives, you know, and
but he stays true to
So I never really learned anything because he did all the, you know,
everything for
me. I just sat there and I talked with him. And so
heck of a deal.
Yeah. And so one day they're like, you got to do it. And so just throw me into the Shark Tank, and I was like, you're either gonna swim or you're gonna drown. Right. I said, well, if
you're gonna get bit if you're in the Shark Tank list.
Yeah, I mean, it was a learning experience, that's for sure. And there's times where I had some dead air, and you know, I still make mistakes. I'm still learning, but I'm using the actual radio station computer right now. I have to get everything programmed on my computer and stuff. So eventually that's gonna happen, and I'll be able to do stuff from my computer. But that's a little bit more complex. On the radio station computer, you can just kind of type stuff in and then just have it already there and play it. And you know, that was pretty easy to learn that in the board. But doing the laptop is going to be a little bit more advanced.
So why did you decide to go live?
I like to go. I was going live a lot with my the DJ that I was co-hosting with. I used to do a lot of live shows because. Nowadays, that's what it takes. You know, it takes people to kind of, everybody's on Facebook.
Right.
And you want to bring more viewers, and, you know, you want to just get that marketing. Yeah. I call it marketing. I mean, that's basically what it is, because you're
Do you engage with the audience? I mean, I know you do, because I've said, hello, how fun is this? I have no idea what any of that music is. But you're always smiling and having fun, and I love that. I'm always drawn to
a lot
the
of
smiles.
Us Tejanos, like all of us DJs, some of them speak Spanish, but we don't speak Spanish on our show. It's all English, and a lot of your listeners, they don't understand the music. They just love it. They love the beat. They love the sound and everything. So, you know, that's basically where I'm at with it. I don't understand all of it, but I just love it, you know. And so I like to engage with everybody. I get a lot of people. I go back and forth from my own personal Facebook. One day I'll do that because I have a lot of viewers and a lot of followers on my personal Facebook, and then every now and then I'll go live on the Majic page as well. So we build that up as well.
Right.
So people who don't necessarily have me as a friend, they can still see me live.
Yeah. Well, we're friends.
Yes.
On Facebook. So it's fun to actually meet you in person. That's always.
I know. And you were so sweet. You were so sweet to me. I was supposed to come about a few weeks ago, and then I ended up getting sick. And you were like, I can bring you some soup, some chicken. I was like, oh, who would have done that? Like, and I didn't even know you were like a complete stranger. I was like,
oh, but I do that. Do you know that? Like, I make soups for friends. Oh, they will tell you. Absolutely.
Well, I'll still take you up on that soup.
Thank you very much, because I have perfected chicken noodle soup, girl. Well, because I know what it's like to be a mom and to have all these responsibilities, and then to get sick, and your husband has to work, and it's kind of like,
and that's the hard
worst
part, is he works oil field, so he's gone all the time. You know, he's only home maybe, he's supposed to be on 2 weeks and then off 1 week, but it doesn't ever work that way. He's always working 3 weeks or a month, and then off for a few days, and then right back. So I have to take care of the kids. I have to take care of the yard, the house. I mean, everything, and it's a lot of work. But I'm one of those busybodies. You know, I can't sit still for anything. Like,
oh no, I can't.
I know
exactly.
I can't just sit still, just watch. You know, really watch a movie. I'm constantly, you know, I gotta clean. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And my mind is just like going 100 miles an hour.
Okay, here's what I do. I blame that on my mom, because my mom was like a real regimented housekeeper, right? And so, like, my mom is actually, like, the last time I visited her with Ever, she's like, you never sit down. And I was like, through your design, because it'd be like, I would vacuum, and I'd be like, done. And she'd be like, no, you missed a spot here, here, and here. So I was just constantly.
I'm the same way,
like,
OCD.
I'm so OCD about the house. Yeah.
Me too. And even when I cut grass, it has to be, like, perfect.
That's why I knew I could cook you soup. Because, like, you can just tell we're on that same vibe, or we both have the same mental illness. Yes. I don't know, it's one or the other.
Is that what we call it, a mental illness? My husband seems to think that's what it is. He's like, you can't sit down, you can't focus, and
just sit.
Yeah.
Trey's like, absolutely. 10 minutes. 10-minute
ADD
Ingrid. That's what he
all
calls
that.
me. 10-minute Ingrid. Can only sit 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, I'm ready. Are we done now? No, just kidding.
But
So, and you guys are, hold on a second. Wait, I've got to just say, so you're doing all of these things. And yes, of course, and I was very sad that you were sick, but I knew like that if you thought that this was fun, you'd come on and we would be here for you when we got here.
Definitely.
On top of everything else, you real estate, because I'm about to throw another one at you guys. So she's a realtor.
With Shaw Realty.
With Shaw Realty. She's a disc jockey, and she is a lead singer of Fantazzia. Fantazzia. I'm getting closer.
Think of the
right?
drink Fanta.
I'm getting,
Like
Fanta. That's right. Well, but for me, it's still Fanta.
Fanta.
That's exactly how I got it. I was like Fanta and then Sia, but it's Fanta. Fantazzia.
Fantazzia.
You guys are opening a club.
Yes, we are.
So let's talk about
my husband
club.
and I partnered up with Frank Salazar, who's a big promoter here in Victoria. He promotes a lot of big bands. He has a Memorial Weekend Bash downtown and stuff. And so we partnered up with him, and we're opening up the old two-step. It's going to be called Club Portal or Club Portal.
Club Portal.
Club Portal.
For those of us who can't spell
yes,
portal.
Exactly.
Say it again.
Portal.
Portal.
Yep.
Was that close?
It's very close. Very
Fantazzia.
Fantazzia. You got it. You got it that time.
Only 50 times, Liz. Thanks for working with me on that. So what is it like to be a club owner?
I don't know. Like, we're just in
when are you
renovation.
Sleep?
I don't know. I don't. And then, because it wasn't until my 3-year-old just barely started school Monday.
Right.
And she used to stay up till 3 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
And we'd wake up in the morning, start our day and stuff like that. So even before I had her, like, my husband will tell you that I never sleep. I'm just one of those that 5-6 hours is great for me, and then I'm good. Sometimes I can go on 4 hours of sleep, just depending, But,
yeah, no, that's when we stop being friends, because I gotta have 8 to 10.
But it is a lot of responsibility. It's a lot on my plate, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and when you love what you do, it's not work.
Right.
When you love what you do, then it's not work. And I tell people all the time, when I do interviews, because we do interviews all over the place and all over Texas, and we do what's called radio tours. And I said, if you don't love what you do, why are you doing it? Don't do something that you don't love. Of course you got to make money. That's
right.
That's key. But always love what you do, because you don't live once, you die once, and then that's it. So you're living every day. And live to their fullest, because you don't ever know. So
that was one of my questions for you, was going to be some advice that you would give for a young lady who understands what the barriers are, right, for Tejano music, but she really wants to be a Tejano music singer. What advice would you give her?
My advice would just be, don't ever stop. And that's with anything that you love to do, whether it's Tejano music, or if you want to be a business owner or a realtor, whatever. Don't ever let anybody tell you can't do it, because if that should be enough to make you want to do it. And don't ever let anybody hold you back. Don't let anybody hold you back, and just continue to just push through. It's not easy. Nothing in this life is easy nor free, or you're not always going to make $1 million off of it. But you got to keep pushing. If it's a passion and you love it, just keep pushing through. And that's what I've been doing, because I finally got to this age in my life, and I was like, you know what? I've always had people hold me back, and I've always had negativity. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let that hold me back anymore. I'm not. I'm just not. I know for myself that I'm a very happy-go-lucky person.
Right.
I love people. I love to meet new people. I love being out there in the with the public. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm not going to let anybody hold me back anymore. I'm going to do it, and I don't care what it takes to do. So if you have that mindset, you will make it happen. You have to have goals, and you have to set goals, and you have to think, okay, what am I going to do today?
Sure.
What am I going to do today to get where I need to be?
Right.
And that's where I started. When I started singing with the band just locally. I'm like, I want to be on radio. I'm going to be on the radio. So I worked towards that. I started making phone calls, and what does it take, and how much does it cost, and what do I have to do? And so when it got to that point, I finally made I finally did a single on the radio and had it, put on the radio, and that was awesome on its own to be able to hear my own voice on the radio, and not just in my hometown, but all over California, Florida, Michigan. I mean, all over the state. I mean,
the United States. Yeah.
And so that alone was pretty awesome. And then I was like, okay, now what's my next step? Music video.
Yes.
And now it's like finishing my album. So it's with everything, with the radio station as well. Like, what am I going to do today that's going to, help myself, or how am I going to make it better each day, So just have fun with it.
That's awesome. That is absolutely
And I
awesome.
always tell people, I go where God takes me, because I'm a firm believer in God. A lot of people don't like to talk about that, religion, stuff like that. But me, I can say I'm a firm believer of God, and I go where He takes me. And that's all I can say. Every day, if God's willing, is where I'm going to be.
Wow. That's beautiful. Very well said.
Thank you.
All right. So the last question, which is, so then what's next on top of all of that?
What's next? Okay. Next, that's kind of hard for me because I just take it a day at a time. I really don't know what's next. I would love to one day win an award for Tejano Music. My song was #1 on one of an internet stations, my video, and that was very exciting for me. So,
I can't wait. We're going to definitely add that link to our, to our verbiage. Yes.
Thank you. So my video was #1, and I was like, wow, I never would imagine this a long time ago, a few years ago. Like you would never imagine, but it does happen. Like I said, if you just keep pushing, working hard.
That's really the key.
That's the key, is working hard, no sleep.
No sleep.
No sleep. But yeah, so that's my thing next, is just I'm working on my broker's license as well. So I got my education. I already started on that to work on my broker's license. Yeah. Yes, and just taking it each day at a time, and whatever comes next, and I'm like, because I'm one of those, like my husband always says, every time something comes around, you're just like squirrel. Like I think of something one day and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do this.
That's awesome.
I'm just that kind of person.
Good.
So.
Well, it was so nice to finally get to meet you. I'm so glad that you're here, that you're better. You're not making me sick.
Yes.
But it was so cool, Liz, to be able to meet you as the public, and, as our viewers are meeting you today.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
I really appreciate
wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
I cannot wait. As soon as we go off air, I'm running over with you to go get this video. Is it longer than 10 minutes? Are we going to be able to sit?
It's a 3-minute video.
It's a 3-minute video. Yeah. I think I love that. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a 3-minute music video.
Now,
and they can find.
Go ahead. No, please.
I was gonna say, you can find me on social media. You can find Lizz with 2 Z's, Garza-Turnipseed, which I'm already at my 5,000 limit. But I have a personal a like page under just Lizz Garza, and then my band. You can.
Okay, wait. Ready?
Okay.
Fantazzia.
You got it.
Yay!
Just come to that.
There you go. Last one. So
Okay.
Fantazzia has their own.
We have our own Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Cool.
And
the video is on there?
Yes, you can go to YouTube.
Cool.
We're on all the digital outlets. So if you do like Tejano music, or if you just want to go and purchase it and support us, it's only like $1.99 or 99 cents to buy it on the digital outlets.
That's super cool.
So you can find it just Fantazzia with 2 Z's.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of Southbridge Street Live. And
Yes,
before I say thank you so much for watching, okay, go to the song again. I'll try to sing it with you.
Which one?
Oh, Love on the Brain, because I have no idea what you were saying earlier.
Okay. And you got me like, oh, what you want from me. And I tried to buy your pretty heart, but it's too high. You take the lead now.
No, I'm gonna go with the chorus.
Baby, you got me like, oh, you love when I fall apart. So you can put me together and throw me against the wall. Baby, you got me like, oh, woo, oh. Don't you stop loving me. Don't quit loving me. Just start loving me. Ooh, and and babe. We can go on and on and on.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Must be love on the brain.
Oh,
Just
girl,
leave
I
it at
can't even. That's so phenomenal. Awesome.
And that's just singing it like, if I'm like standing with my microphone, it's like.
Oh, I'm fixing to stand back here and let you stand on this chair. Thank you guys so much for watching Southbridge Street Live.